Are you currently experiencing slow sales on eBay? Because I'm not. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you some cool, unique items that I recently sold.
I found a stack of records in my attic today, an Elvis picture disc and Kenny's big old hay. Put them up on eBay for the day was done. Watch the bids roll in till the morning sun.
Welcome, everyone, to the video. Welcome to the channel. This is going to be late. I mean, by the time you see this, you already know this is going to be late. I know it's late. I fell asleep last night. That's what happened. I completely fell asleep. We were busy. We had a very busy weekend, and Labor Day, we ended up doing all of our setup for Halloween. We typically do our setup for Halloween, end of August, beginning of September. But we decided to get it all done yesterday. We just had an incredibly busy weekend, so yeah, we got it all done. So a lot of lifting, a lot of moving, shifting things around in the garage, and everything always gets pushed to the back, right? All the Halloween stuff always gets pushed to the back. So you have to move stuff around, shift things around to get the bins. They're heavy. So I was tired. And I fell asleep. So this is going to be a very quick, abbreviated video. So I can get it up quick, up and upload it to YouTube. Like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. The first, I'm just going to do one quick hot take on live selling. Now, live selling, wherever you want to live sell on, if Whatnot is the big one, and then eBay does do live selling as well too, but it's a small group that they allow in. But Whatnot's the other big one that many people can get into relatively easily. The other one is the other, bigger name. Poshmark, I think, does live too, but the other one that a lot of resellers talk about is the District. And the District, you have separate. It's like Shopify, if you're familiar with it. You build your store on top of the District, and then they have people on there with their own stores, and they can go live. One of the biggest selling features is to be able to go live. One of the biggest selling features is being able to sell with the help of a influencer, and but also going live is the big thing, and that's how you get the most sales. They do offer static sales there, but it's not as big as the live sales. If you really want to be successful, you're gonna have to live sell on there right now. But the biggest selling point for live selling that people talk about, and I'm going to focus primarily on one of them, which is the lower fees on these live selling platforms like Whatnot, and on whatever district company or whoever you want to join on District typically have lower fees than other places like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, your more traditional static selling platforms. But they always mention this one thing. They always talk about, yes, you're gonna have to think differently, source differently, and you're gonna have to accept lower prices on your items on these live selling platforms. It's just the way it is. The problem is, when you go on there to sell, like I'm going to go sell my mouse. I want to sell this mouse. You're going to go live. You might not have the right buyer for mice there. So this mouse should go for about $80. But if you don't have the right, clientele at your live show, it might go for closer to 20, maybe less. So you're creating very fast sales for, or you're trading, a lower profit margin for just a faster sale, making that sale faster, getting that money back in quick. That's what you're trading it for. And you're getting lower fees on top of that. Now, eBay, or if you list something on eBay, you can get probably top dollar for this, because the right person is going to come around, hopefully come around, and find that item and be willing to pay top dollar for it. But then you have higher fees. So if you get where I'm going here, the fees are lower, but yet you're selling it for a lower price. The fees are higher on eBay, but yet you're selling it for a higher price. So what does that mean? It's a balance. It's probably going to, no matter where you sell at, it's probably, the profit margin is probably going to be the same. Because if you sell it on eBay, the fees are going to be high. You're going to get the most money for it, but you're going to have high fees, especially if you advertise. If you sell it on a live platform, then yeah, you're not going to get the most money for it, but you're not going to pay that many fees. So everything balances out in the end. It's just a matter of, do you want to live sell? And the one thing about live selling that I don't think a lot of people talk about, you kind of see it. You can see it. The more that people live sell, and a lot of people that live sell are, have YouTube channels, YouTube followings, they create content. That content starts to suffer. The other content starts to suffer because they're making live videos instead. So, think of yourself as a whole pie. You got to start, divvying up that pie. So if you're making more videos for live selling or committing more time to live selling, you're still doing videos and that's still work. Whether you're, making the videos and editing them later or just doing them straight live, it's still a lot of work just to be in front of a camera, to be, camera ready, I guess is what it is. So you'll start to see their other stuff starts. So yeah, that's with anything. It's not necessarily with social media, with live selling. You're gonna have to. There's only one whole pie. There's only 100% of a pie, and whatever you're doing, you're gonna have to shift the slices around. How big of a slice do you want over here? How big of a slice do you want over here in the pie? You know, it's all a delicate balancing act, and really, it's what you want to do and what you feel comfortable doing. If you feel comfortable being in front of a camera, going back to reselling or selling, e-commerce, if you feel comfortable in front of a camera and you have a great personality and great, I know some people have great, I don't know. No, I don't think anybody really likes their own voice when they hear it, but there's some people out there who have great voices who I like listening to just because of their voice. But, and there's other people who I don't really like listening to, but, um, I don't even have anything to drink with me here. I have some coffee from earlier today still there, if I'm getting thirsty right now. So, and just keep that in mind, whether you sell live, whether you sell static, the profit's probably going to be about the same because the fees are higher on one side, but you get the most money. The fees are lower on one side, but you're getting lower money for it. So what are you going to have the most? I was gonna say fun, but it should be fun. But I know some people just treat it as a job, and that's okay too. What are you gonna be the most consistent at is really, really what you're gonna get down to. The root of what you're gonna get down to. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what's sold. I told you I'm gonna move fast through this. Look at the what's sold. Where's my mouse at? I'm not even use the right mouse here. Okay. Let's look at the what's sold. Let me get these things up here so we can knock that out as well too. I noticed some people are shifting I saw a video yesterday, I believe, and a bigger, everyone's bigger than me when it comes to YouTube or content creation. Everyone's trying to shift their view on the whole sell-through rate thing. I've talked about that to death already. Many other people have talked about that to death and what it is and, what it truly is. And what you're actually doing when you're looking up souls. And, I've talked about this many, many videos ago already. You're looking at the market, when you're looking at what's sold and what is currently listed, you're doing your market research. And so some people are starting to shift that, which is good, as people grow and start to learn about, I can't even see what I'm looking at. I'm staring at my phone and I'm not even sure where the photos are. Okay. People are growing, they're learning more about, the business or business of e-commerce, business in general, maybe, or retail in general, e-commerce, and so they're actually learning the real definitions of a lot of these, terms and everything that are kind of loosely thrown around by many people. Okay. Okay. So this sold really quick. This sold within a day. I didn't undersell it. I know I didn't undersell it. There were none listed. I made a quick short video and this was in it. There's none listed of this, so that doesn't mean there are plenty. This is Saturday Giants, for those of you that don't know. A Christmas hat, probably a stadium giveaway of some kind. Well, actually, it's a fitted hat, so maybe it wasn't a stadium giveaway. Maybe someone, they got it at a local store or something. But just because there's nothing listed doesn't mean you can go willy-nilly. You can get crazy and start listing it for $80, $90, $100. No. Generally, for the most part, Sound League Giants, minor league hats, good, unique ones will hit, and sell around a range of about $25 to $30. This sold for $31.34, $6.57 what they paid in shipping, 975-inch box is what I put it in. That's my standard hat box. I call it my hat box because that's mostly what my hats go into. That's the common size that my hats go into. But it's a very versatile size. I use it for a lot of different things, but just keep your eye out. Minor league teams do incredibly well, especially these special ones, Christmas. I've sold Harry Potter. I've sold Italian Night. I've sold all kinds of them. And they do really well when they are more of your special edition giveaway, stadium giveaways. So really, really cool. They sold incredibly fast and, it's a cool hat. I wish it was my size. I would have probably kept it if it was my size. I'm big head, 7 5/8. So Now, this was really cool. This could be up in an estate sale, which I did not film or anything like that. I wasn't prepared. We don't typically go to estate sales. But Joe Rice was actually the signature on the bottom, not necessarily a name to be on the lookout for. It doesn't really go for that much. Joe Rice glass. But this one here is a little bit more unique. As you can see, it is a ring holder. So you just slide your rings on top of it. Real nice work. And I don't even know why they don't go for more. This one did because it was more unique, and I couldn't find any other ring holders out there from this maker. $28.78 is what they paid in shipping. I'm sorry, what they paid. Shipping was $9.31. See, I'm going too fast here. 6x6 box is what this went into. Just a really, really cool piece. I wouldn't recommend picking up Joe Rice anything. I mean, unless it's like $1 or $2, it averages about maybe $10 to $15 typically, which I'm kind of surprised because it's really nice. It has a very similar stamp on the bottom to Glassy Baby. The stamp on the bottom looks like a Glassy Baby stamp. It's not Glassy Baby, but it does. I wish it sold for Glassy Baby price, but because this can be used as a paperweight, can be used as a ring holder. It is a ring holder. Then really, really cool piece. And I think that's what really got it sold for more of the higher end of what Joe Rice pieces go for. So really, really cool piece here. Definitely something to be on the lookout for, more in the cool, unique. I don't typically see glass ring holders, so maybe that also helped give it a boost as well too to get it sold. So really cool piece here. Okay, this one here, and I think I have another picture on this right here. This is, the whole thing isn't 14 karat gold, but I found this at Savers. I did a short video on this. This little piece right here is what kind of caught my eye initially, but that was gold plated after looking at it. But I went ahead and inspected everything else, thinking maybe, maybe it's, sterling gold wash, mostly gold plated. There was one sterling piece on there, but this was found at Savers, mind you, in the glass. I paid $15 after the discount. It was $16, I believe, if I remember correctly. So it was priced up, but still, this right here was 14 karat gold. Do I have a picture of the stamp? Did I take a picture of the stamp or not? There's a tiny little stamp, and it's on the actual seat of the bike. I didn't do a close picture of it. But this right here, 14 karat gold. It was a little over a gram, so right around $60. Sold for 65 in total. So basically the weight of this gold here is what it's sold for. I was trying to get a little bit more, like $90 for it, but people that buy gold, people that buy, sterling silver jewelry all the time, online that is. Not necessarily in person, because some of these in-person prices in retail stores, it's outrageous. I'll tell you right now, it's outrageous. And this is coming from somebody that, well, because I could buy at wholesale price. So I kind of know what the spot price is, what the price should be, what I should pay if there's a designer name attached to it, or if there's design in general, what I should pay above what spot price would be. But this went right around where spot price of this tiny little piece of this tiny little bicycle. It went for the spot price of the tiny little bicycle, which is 14 karat gold. So $65, $7.10 to what they paid in shipping. This went inside a small padded poly bag. So really cool. It was a really cool charm bracelet overall. So you just got to, train your eye to look for these things. This caught my eye, but after further inspection, it was gold plated. And then I just quickly and when I go like this, I don't look old when I do that, but when I go like this and look, I have incredibly great nearsighted vision. I'm nearsighted. So my nearsighted vision is incredibly great. It's like having a loop. So I can see all these little details. And I was able to spot that little 14 karat right on the seat. So really, really cool. Okay, this is a Lego Batman, and everyone knows Lego does incredibly well. But this sold for $20. And why did it sell for $20? Because this is a part of a special set. I forgot to even put this on. Let me take this on, put this on Do Not Disturb. This sold for $20 because this is part of a set. It was the Two-Face set. So it's a little bit more of a unique set. Kind of hard to especially with Batman. There's so many Batman character minifigures. It's so hard to determine, even with what do you call it? Google image. It's kind of hard to determine which one goes to what set. So this one actually came in the set, so I knew exactly what it was. Went for $20, and The shipping was, I'm going way too fast for myself. $6.02 with the shipping small padded poly bag. So really cool. If you can get these ones that are in more unique sets, sometimes they have a little bit of a different printing on them. This one even went 20 bucks without the tape as well too. Sometimes the headpiece is a little bit different. So just keep an eye out for it. Sometimes there's, printed on printings on their arms that are different from other sets. Check out the legs and everything. Definitely use Google image to try to help you identify it. But definitely keep your eye out for pieces that have a lot more printing on them as well. And what's the next one? This was really cool and just interesting planner. Capital One. I wouldn't recommend picking up Capital One planners, Capital One, the credit card. I wouldn't recommend picking up their planners, but this one was a wireless charging, had a USB, what do you call it? Little storage device also on it. So it kind of had some things going for it. It was clean and, almost new condition, which these types of items, when you're trying to sell these items, like a Capital One planner, you'll want it to be in great condition, almost new. $24.54 is what they paid for it. $10.67 what they paid in shipping. This actually went to a priority added poly bag. So really, really cool. Just something unique. It just had a lot of unique things going for it to get it sold. It was a planner. It wasn't unique to a specific year, so that was even good. So they could write in their own year. It was practically brand new. Just a lot of things going for it. This next one kind of I messed up. And I messed up because I dropped one of the cups with it. If I had both cups and I had the original box, both cups, it would have gone for $60. But I dropped one. It happens, don't beat yourself up over it. It happens. $36 even is what they paid for it. $11.70 is what they paid in shipping. 12, 10, 10 box. So the Playboy Bunny, if you find the martini set, I mean, the individual pieces do okay. If you get them for a few bucks, the whole set can do really well. Can do about 60 bucks for the whole set. You see what happens. What I get, I lose one, one martini glass. There goes most of the value right there. But we still made some money on it. So that's still pretty good. I think it was $9.99, but I got it at Savers. And I believe I always have a coupon with me. So I got at least 20% off of that. So really, really cool. Definitely keep your eye out for this stuff. Keep your eye out for all these items here. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get this video up for everybody to watch tonight when they get home.
Hey, you've made it to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by hitting my little round icon down below. It really does help us out here. Also, you'll find a couple of selections. You'll see a playlist of videos to watch and my most recent video that I did upload.